past participles, reported speech and other forms. Namaskar and welcome to the Swayam MOOC Telugu language learning series. I am Dr. K. Ramesh, your instructor. In this session, we will learn reported speech, body parts, animals and important grammar topics like past participles and habitual forms. These topics help learners build vocabulary and use Telugu naturally to describe people, actions, routines and events in a clear and simple way. First one, past participles. Past participles are verb forms that functions like adjectives and describes nouns through completed actions. They are generally formed using suffixes such as ina, a and ina. For example, చదివిన విద్యార్థి. It means the student who studied, where చదివిన modifies the noun విద్యార్థి. Similarly, రాసిన పుస్తకం, it means the written book, and చేసిన పని, the work done. Verbs ending in u often undergo internal changes while forming past participles. For example, చదువు becomes చదివిన. In the sentence, చదివిన విద్యార్థి పరీక్షలో ఉత్తీర్ణుడయ్యాడు. It means the student who studied passed the examination. The participle describes the student who completed the action of studying. Verbs ending in e show stronger structural changes in participle formation. For example, చెయ్యి becomes చేసిన in the sentence formation. చేసిన పని చాలా బాగుంది. It means the work done is very good. The participle describes completed work. Similarly, కొను become కొన్న. Next one, some verbs are irregular and must be memorized. For example, రా become వచ్చిన. వచ్చిన అతిథులను ఆహ్వానించారు. It means they welcomed the guests who came. The participle describes the arriving guests. Similarly, ఉండు becomes ఉన్న and కావు becomes అయిన are also common irregular participle forms in Telugu. Past participles helps combine two sentences into one natural expression. For example, instead of saying రాము పుస్తకం రాశాడు, ఆ పుస్తకం ప్రసిద్ధి పొందింది. It means రాము wrote a book. That book became famous. Telugu uses రాము రాసిన పుస్తకం ప్రసిద్ధి పొందింది. It means the book written by Ramu became famous. Thus, past participles make Telugu sentences shorter, clearer and more natural. Next one. In Telugu, habitual forms expresses actions that happen regularly or repeatedly. Habitual meaning is mainly expressed through future tense forms, participles, negatives and auxiliary constructions. The future tense is commonly used for habits. For example, తాగుతాను, I drink regularly. కష్టపడతాడు, he works hard. And పిల్లులు చెట్లు ఎక్కుతాయి, cats climb trees. Negative habitual forms include కష్టపడడు, does not work hard. Another important structure is the adjectival participle a or a, as in sentence తినే పిల్లవాడు. It means the boy who eats regularly. Habitual past is expressed through forms like తాగేవాడు, used to drink, and చేసేది, used to work. Extended habitual meaning uses తూ plus ఉండే structure, as in sentence తింటూ ఉండేవాడు, used to keep eating. Telugu can also expresses implicit habitual meaning through contextual progressive forms like తాగుతున్నట్లున్నాడు. It means it seems he drinks regularly. Thus, habitual forms are essential in Telugu for expressing routines, repeated actions and general truths naturally. Next one is reported speech. Reported speech is used to express what someone said, informed or narrated. Telugu does not strictly separate direct and indirect speech as in English. Instead, it uses flexible grammatical tools such as ani, it means that or saying that. Forms derived from anu means to say, like annadu, he said, annadi, she said, annanu, I said. And also reporting verbs like cheppu means inform. The most common reporting verb is cheppu, used in the sense of telling or informing depending on context. The listener is marked with dative case ku or ki means to, or instrumental marker to means with. In the sentence form, Uma Kamalaku katha cheptondi. Uma is telling a story to Kamala. Next one. Another important structure in Telugu reported speech is the use of ani. It means that, which links the reported clause with the reporting verb. The basic pattern is reported clause plus ani plus reporting verb. As in sentence, Gangaraju vastunnadu ani Ramya cheppindi. It means Ramya said that Gangaraju is coming. Telugu also uses compact forms derived from anu, means to say, where ani is often omitted, such as Rajashekar vastanannadu. Rajashekar said he will come. For reporting commands or instructions, Telugu uses the form ani. That should, as in syntax, Rayamani chepparu. It means he told to write. Another important feature is the reportive particle ata. It is said that, which expresses hearsay or indirect information. Ravi annam tinaledata. It is said that Ravi did not eat. Telugu reported speech is also flexible in word order, but the relationship between the reported clause and reporting verb remains intact. The marker tho with is used to indicate the listener. Shekhar nato Hyderabad ku podam annadu. It means Shekhar told me, let us go to Hyderabad. In some cases, ani means that becomes mandatory when another element separates the clause and verb, ensuring clarity. Both compact annadu means said forms and expanded ani cheppadu. It means said that. Constructions are interchangeable in meaning, such as Srimukudu vastanannadu. It means Srimukudu said he will come, and Srimukudu vastanu ani cheppadu. It means Srimukudu said that he will come. Next one, body parts. Body parts in Telugu are called Sharira Bhagalu. The human body is an important topic in language learning because we use body part vocabulary in daily life to describe health, appearance, movement, feelings, and actions. Important body parts include thala means head, kannu, eye, chevi means ear, mukku means nose, noru mouth, cheyi hand, kalu means leg, and gunde means heart. These words are very commonly used in everyday communication and help learners express real life experiences clearly. The thala, head, is used in expressions like నాకు తలనొప్పిగా ఉంది. It means I have a headache. And అతను తల ఊపాడు. He nodded his head. The kannu means eye is used for seeing. In the sentence, నేను సినిమా చూస్తున్నాను. I am watching a movie. The chevi, ear, is used for hearing, such as అతను పాట వింటున్నాడు. He is listening to a song. The mukku means nose, helps in breathing and smelling. And noru means mouth, is used for eating and speaking. పిల్లవాడు అన్నం తింటున్నాడు. It means the child is eating rice. The cheyi means hand, helps in holding and writing. The kalu means leg, helps in walking and movement. And the gunde means heart, represents both body function and emotions. In the sentence, ఆమె గుండె పగిలింది, it means she is heartbroken. Now we are entered last one. Vocabulary of domestic animals known as పెంపుడు జంతువులు and wild animals as అడవి జంతువులు, which form an essential part of everyday communication, rural life and cultural expressions. Domestic animals such as ఆవు means cow, గేదె means buffalo, దున్నపోతు means male buffalo, ఎద్దు means ox, గుర్రం means horse, గాడిద means donkey, కుక్క dog, పిల్లి cat, మేక goat, గొర్రె means sheep, పంది pig, కుందేలు rabbit are closely associated with agriculture, companionship and human livelihood. Their young ones are often expressed using forms like pilla, kuna, duda, gunna, reflecting Telugu's rich morphological structure. These animals are not only part of daily life but also appear in cultural expressions and idioms that describe human behavior and social values. Now, moving into the natural world, wild animals, it means అడవి జంతువులు, represent strength, instinct and survival in Telugu linguistics and cultural imagination. Key wild animals include పులి means tiger, సింహం lion, చిరుతపులి means leopard, ఏనుగు means elephant, ఎలుగుబంటి means bear, తోడేలు wolf, నక్క jackal or fox, జింక deer, కోతి monkey, పాము snake, తాబేలు tortoise and others. These animals symbolize qualities such as courage, intelligence, speed and caution, and their young ones are commonly referred to as pilla. Wild animals also enrich Telugu idioms and proverbs such as nakka vinayalu, it means for fake humility, and tabelu nadaka for slow progresses. Through these expressions, Telugu beautifully connects animal behavior with human nature, making the vocabulary both practical and culturally meaningful. In conclusion, thus these lessons together build a strong foundation in Telugu language learning. Past participles help describe completed actions, habitual forms, expresses repeated or regular activities. Reported speech enables learners to convey spoken information using structures like ani, anu, cheppu and atta. While body parts and animals vocabulary enrich everyday communication and cultural understanding. Together these areas strengthen both grammar and vocabulary, helping learners communicate clearly, naturally and confidently in spoken and written Telugu. With regular practice and continued learning, I sincerely thank all Swayam learners for your dedication and enthusiastic participation in this learning journey. Keep learning, keep practicing and continue growing with us in the enriching journey of Telugu language learning. Thank you all.